Hank the Cowdog, The Return of the Charlie Monsters by John R. Erickson, Book 63. Chapter 1. Case number RA-VS 2335. It's me again, Hank the Cowdog. When the sun came up that morning, I had no idea what lay ahead, that we would face a full-scale, two-pronged invasion by the Charlie Monsters, that they would try to bump me off with a poisoned egg, or that my relationship with Sally Mae would hit an all-time low. What we are looking at here is one of the seriousest stories of my whole career. But before we go any farther, let's take care of some ranch business. See, once we get into the scary part, I might forget to tell you that this is case number RA-VS 2335. It's important that you know the case number, and maybe you're wondering why it's important. The answer might surprise you. It's so important that I can't tell you why it's so important. It's classified information, and we're talking about heavy-duty, keep your trap shut kind of secret. All you need to know is that the security division has a numbering system, and we keep records on all our cases. We're allowed to reveal the case number, and that's about it. If you're okay with that, we'll move along. Ready? Okay. In our filing system, RA-VS is shorthand for Red Alert, Very Serious. And the number 2335 tells us that it happened after case 2334 and before case 2336. Do you get it? Case 2335 occurred between case 2334 and case 2336. The dash between RA and VS doesn't mean anything dark or mysterious. We put it there because I'm not sure why we put it there. Maybe it breaks up the monotony of having 4 letters in a row, RAVS. Also, it makes it sound more official when we say, this is case number RA-VS 2335. You have to admit that's a pretty slick system. I mean, a lot of your ordinary mutts just slop through life and never keep a good set of records. On my outfit, we keep track of every little detail. For example, at this very moment, even as we speak, a flea is creeping around in the region of my left armpit. In fact, it tickles. Okay, this information will go into our data files, including my response. Pay close attention. I will now sit on the ground, hike up my left hind leg, and using the claws of my left rear paw, hack the flea into salad and smithereens. Death to all fleas. Hack, hack, hack. Pay special attention to the angle of my head during this procedure, with the neck fully extended. Also, note the shape of my mouth, expressing grim determination, but also pleasure. See, I get a kick out of vaporizing fleas. A little humor there. Did you get it? I get a kick out of kicking fleas. Pretty clever, huh? Anyway, that flea thinks he's safe, slipping through the hairs in my armpit, but we'll get him. Hack, hack, hack. There, by George, that's one flea that we won't see again. When they mess with the head of ranch security, they pay a terrible price. Now, where were we? I have no idea. Does anyone remember what we were talking about? Oh, it really burns me up when this happens. Okay, never mind. We'll start all over. It's me again, Hank the Cowdog. It was early morning. It was summer. It was dry. And it was worse than dry. We were in the second year of a drought. Terrible drought. The country looked awful. But oddly enough, the mornings were beautiful. Desert mornings with clear, still air and the early sunlight painting our valley with vivid colors of red, orange, and purple. We had very little grass that summer, but a huge problem a huge population of grasshoppers. And we're talking about those big, fat jumbos. Figure that one out. If you have very little grass, how can you have billions of grasshoppers? What do they eat? If grasshoppers don't have grass, how do they hop? I don't know. But we had billions of them. They not only hopped, but any time I was trotting across the pasture. Okay, I'm starting the sentence over again. They not only hopped, but any time I was trotting across the pasture, I could count on getting smacked in the face by 4 or 5 of the hateful little things, and it hurt. Nobody on this ranch had anything good to say about grasshoppers, but the wild turkeys were having the time of their lives. They eat grasshoppers, don't you know? Chasing grasshoppers is what they do for a living. So their business was booming. We have more to say about turkeys, but later on. During this drought, Sally Mae was trying her best to keep the shrubs and flowers alive in the yard, and she was running the sprinkler in the garden every day to keep the squash, okra, tomatoes, and melons from turning up their toes and dying. She had succeeded in keeping most of the garden plants alive, and had waged a constant war against the grasshoppers, squash bugs, and tomato worms. Then the deer and rabbits started poaching the green plants. We had a good hog wire fence around the garden, but that did not stop rabbits from crawling under it, nor did it keep deer from jumping over it. In a bad drought, it's hard to keep the poachers out of the garden. In the security division had set up a special task force to deal with this issue. And let me tell you, we were putting in some hours, day and night, morning and evening, 18 hours every day, chasing rabbits and deer away from the garden. On this ranch, the work never ends. And in a drought, it never ends. And that's what we were doing on the morning. We opened case number RA-VS 2335. Loper and Slim had left the ranch before daylight to attend a farm auction. Apparently, they thought we didn't have enough junk. So they went shopping for more junk. Sally Mae was scurrying around the house trying to get ready for a trip to town. As I recall, she was helping out the Vacation Bible School. Yes, she had volunteered to teach at VBS, and this would be her first day. Drover and I had slept late. Let me rephrase. Drover had slept late. I had been up most of the night doing poacher patrol. But the important part is that around 7 o'clock in the morning, we were pulling guard duty in observation post 9 in front of the machine sheds. All at once, I got a call on the radio. "Hank, you better wake up. Something's going on out there." I leaped to my feet and took command of the ship. "Dive! Dive! All heads 2/3. Leave off 50 feet and rig for depth charges." One of the men was standing in front of me. I blinked my eyes and took a closer look. "Who are you?" "Oh, pretty good. How about yourself?" "Doing fine, thanks. Are you at 50 feet?" "Well, I've got 4 feet and you've got 4, and that makes 9. "Good. Leave off at 9 feet, and let's take a look. Up scope." "Who are you, and do you have clearance to be here?" He gazed up at the sky. "Well, I'm Drover. Clarence isn't here." That's odd. Do you suppose he went to the engine room?" "Where's that?" "Down below, where we keep the engines." "Down below's where we keep the dirt." He pointed his paw in a downward direction. "That's dirt." My gaze followed the path indicated by his paw. Good grief! It is dirt. We've run aground. Why wasn't I informed? How can I command this ship when nobody tells me? Did you say your name is Drover? "Yeah, it's me. Hi." "Hi. Are you the same drover who was here yesterday? Yeah, that was me. Drover with a D. Roger that. Okay, bring me up to speed. What's going on around here? Well, I saw some turkeys. Rubbish. They must have been seagulls. No, they were turkeys. I melted him with a glare. Turkeys don't live on the ocean. Get your facts straight. We don't have any ocean. That's absurd. How can this be a submarine if you don't have any ocean? He moved closer and whispered, It's not a submarine. It's a ranch in Texas, and I think you were dreaming. I was about to place him under arrest for making slanderous remarks about his commanding officer, but instead I cut my eyes from side to side and noticed, everything in my field of vision bore a strong resemblance to, well, a ranch in Texas. I marched a few steps away and filled my lungs with 3 big gulps of air. Slowly my head began to clear, and I was ready to deal with this latest crisis. Keep reading. You'll want to hear what happens to the ship.